Have you been shopping for a budget tripod and you're not sure which one to get? Maybe you're looking at the $30 models or the $70 models and you're not sure what you're getting with the upgrade. Well, today we're going to be comparing the Amazon Basic 60-inch tripod versus the Neewer 77-inch ball head tripod. We'll compare them for you so you can make an informed decision on your tripod purchase. But hey, if you're new here, my name is Ken and this is Northern Viking Every Day, and we bring you videos on reviews and how-tos, so please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Let's go ahead and dive right into comparing these two tripods. So I've been using these tripods for a little bit now and I am happy with both of them. There are some pretty big differences depending on what you're using the tripod for. I picked both of these up on Amazon. I will put links below in the description so you can easily find them. But let's go into some of the specs on these tripods. Starting out with the weight of these tripods, they're pretty much identical. The Amazon Basics tripod is 3 pounds. The Neewer tripod is 3.12 pounds. They pretty much weigh exactly the same amount. So that's an awesome thing. But when it comes to carrying your cameras, there's a huge difference. So the gear or the capacity of the Amazon Basics one is 6.6 pounds, where the Neewer tripod can handle 17.6 pounds. So if you have heavier gear, you might want to jump up to the Neewer tripod. There's going to be a pretty big difference there. If you're using lighter gear, this Amazon Basics one might do the trick for you. Now, the other thing I do want to mention is that they both do come with a nylon bag. So the Amazon Basics one isn't padded at all. It's just a thin nylon bag like that. Has a zipper kind of that goes halfway down. Whereas the Neewer one is a little bit more padded and the zipper goes the whole length of the bag. So they do both have bags with shoulder straps, so they're very convenient to carry around. Now, the other thing I should mention, when you're looking at the size of these, the Amazon Basics one is 24 inches long when it's folded up, whereas the Neewer one is 19 inches. So it's a fair bit shorter, the Neewer one as well. So it's more compact, but roughly the same weight. And again, when they're fully extended, you're getting 60 inches on the Amazon Basics one versus a full 77 inches on the Neewer one. So we'll show you that in a little bit when we unfold them, how that compares in height. A couple other things I'd like to show you before we set these up. First off, they are both aluminum frame tripods with some plastic trim. There is a fair bit more plastic on the Amazon tripod versus the Neewer one, so you're going to see quite a bit of plastic on here. One cool thing is, though, the Amazon one does have a handle on it right here, which makes it easy to kind of carry around if you're not having it in the bag. The Neewer one does not have a handle, but it does have a foam grip here, which is actually part of the monopod that's on this tripod. So yes, this one does have a monopod that unscrews from one of the legs, whereas the Amazon Basics one does not have a monopod. So if you're not sure what a monopod is, you can unscrew one of the legs and you put the ball head on the top and you can use it for taking photos. Maybe you're out on a walk and you don't have to bring the whole tripod with you. You can just take one of the legs to keep your shot steady. So that's super handy with the Neewer one, and it's really easy to set that up. On the bottom here on both of the tripods, so on the Amazon Basics one, you'll see there's a hook here. This is to hang a bag or a sandbag on to keep the tripod steady. So that's handy, especially when it's extended on a windy day. They both do have that. On the Neewer one, it is a metal hook, whereas it is a plastic one on the Amazon one. The other cool thing is on the legs on these, they are the snap latches on both of them. They're plastic snap latches, but they're easy to extend and put in. You're not twisting kind of a little grip to loosen them. It's got the snap ones, which I'm super happy about. That was one thing I was looking for in a tripod, and both of these tripods do have those snap latches just like that to extend and unextend the legs on them. Now, both of these tripods do have a level on them. The Neewer one has one level here at the top. It's a circular one, so you can make sure your tripod is nice and straight. Whereas the Amazon Basics one actually has two levels on it. There's one underneath here, which is a circular one, so you know if the tripod's straight. But there's also one here on the side of the head that shows you whether your head is level or not. So that's super handy that they put two levels on there. The other thing I do want to mention is on the bottom, they do both have rubber feet. The one on the Amazon Basics one, it helps it from not sliding around, which is nice, especially if you're on a slippery floor. But they're nice rubber feet on there, and they're kind of rotating so they'll move around, so they'll create a flat surface. The Neewer one has rubber feet as well, but these ones have a little bit of a point, not a huge point, a little point on them, which is handy if you're in dirt or something like that, so they catch a little bit better. So that's a great option on the Neewer one as well. So let's have a closer look at the head on the Amazon Basics tripod. You've got your plate here. It's the square kind that you screw into the bottom of your camera, and you just move this lever back here and you can put that right in there and push the lever back and it'll hold your camera in place. So on the side here, you can see there's a handle. You can rotate the handle, which allows you to move it up and down just like that. There's also a knob here we can loosen off that allows you to rotate it this direction. So it's actually quite smooth of a movement on there. Maybe not for cinematography, but if you're filming your kids playing soccer, that's super handy to get a smooth movement on there. The other thing is there's a little thing you can loosen off right here, a screw, and that allows you to flip the camera 90 degrees just like that if you want to take photos sideways. So super handy for that. As well as to get some height out of it, you can loosen this off here and use the crank to crank your camera up to whatever height you need it to be. You can just tighten that off. And that's basically the head on this Amazon Basics tripod. So the head on the Neewer tripod is a ball head. We'll get into that in just a moment. Again, you want to take your base here and screw it into the base of your camera. There's some rubber grip on there. Actually, on both the Amazon and the Neewer, there's rubber on this piece. And we want to take our camera, and you'll see this knob here. This one actually tightens it down. So we want to make sure that this goes into the grooves on the tripod, just like that. And make sure you tighten this one down nice and tight, just like that. So your camera is solid on there. There's a couple different knobs on here. So the first one, this will control the ball head. You loosen this one right here on the side, and it allows your camera to rotate freely. So you can see that there's a ton of rotation. You can even go into the slot here on the side. Let me rotate that for you. And that allows you to go 90 degrees with your camera just like that. So if you want to record at an angle, really easy to do. Or you can come back up and just tighten it off when it's level. And you can look at the level there to make sure that it's correct. The other thing is there is a screw here at the back. You can rotate that and loosen it off, which allows you to rotate 360 degrees like this with your camera. So that's super handy if you want to do that. Now, again, it's fairly smooth if you're wanting to film a soccer game. I don't know about cinema photography, but for maybe your kids at a soccer game, this would work great. But this does not have a handle like the Amazon Basics one, so that might be a little bit easier if you're doing that sort of film work. Now, there's no crank either on this one. So on this one, let me just go here. You actually have to loosen these handles, and you can rotate it up and down like that. So you don't have a crank on this one. You just tighten that off. But it does work quite well. Once you've got it in place, you can easily just rotate that with your finger and do things. So the ball head, a little bit smoother and stronger looking than the Amazon Basics kind of plastic old-fashioned head. So let's head on out to the park and set up these tripods so you can see how tall they are in comparison to one another, as well as how tall they are compared to myself. I'm 6'1". I also want to show you the reverse mode on this Neewer tripod that this Amazon one doesn't have. You can flip the camera upside down and hang it below the tripod, giving you a really cool, unique view. So let's head on out to the park. Let's start out with setting up the Neewer tripod, which was very easy to do with the quick snaps on the legs. It's also got these red buttons where you can adjust the angle of the legs if you'd like a wider stance on the tripod, making it very stable. As for height, when you fully extend it and bring in the legs, you can get up to 77 inches, which is significantly above my head. If you have a bag or some sand, you can hang that from the hook at the bottom, creating more stability with this tripod. Also, you can remove the neck and put it in from the bottom, allowing you to get some creative views from down below. The other cool feature is the monopod. You just unscrew one of the legs and screw the ball head onto it. This would come in super handy if you're going on a hike and don't want to take the full tripod with you. Let's go ahead and set up the Amazon Basics tripod. Again, this was very quick to set up. You can see already it's much shorter, coming in right around my neck at 60 inches. And when you compare the two of them, there is a huge difference in the height. Again, you can use the hook at the bottom to keep the tripod steady with a bag or some sand. It also has a very smooth pan on it for how inexpensive this tripod is. So what are my final thoughts on the Amazon Basic 60-inch tripod and the Neewer 77-inch ball head tripod? Well, first off, let's start out with the Amazon Basics one. I only like to actually review or show products on this channel that I think are good value or that I think are good quality products. For around the $30 mark, I think this is a great product. It's probably the best $30 tripod you're gonna find out there. It's gonna hold up pretty well. If you're using it on a professional level, up and down all the time, every day, you might burn through it quicker. But if you're taking it to the soccer game or the baseball game and you're just filming your kids, maybe using it in your office, and you're not moving it too much, not setting it up and down 5 times a day, I think this will last you a long time. Again, this head portion is definitely not as strong or as nice as the Neewer one, but it'll do the trick if you're not using it all day, every day. So it's good, especially if you're leaving stuff set up and not changing it all the time. I do like that it has the handle here, and I do like that it has the other handle here for moving stuff around that the Neewer one does not. It's not quite as tall as the Neewer, so if you're a tall person and you want a straight on camera view, this might not be the option for you there. Now the Neewer one, I do really like this one. I do like that it's really quite that tall, so if you're a tall person, this works great. It does feel a lot stronger than the Amazon Basics one. Again, for around the $70 mark, this is really good value. It's compact, it's lightweight, it feels really sturdy, and it feels like it's gonna last you a long time. I do really like that it has the ball head and it's nice and smooth. I do really like that it's got the easy extenders on the legs. I think it's just a great option right in that $70 mark. So I hope this comparison of the Amazon Basics and the Neewer ball head tripod did help you out. If it did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also remember to connect with me on social media. You will find all those links below in the description. Thank you so much for watching today, and until next time, take care.